Most bridges are ordinary and useful, but a few stand out above the rest. From feats of engineering to eye-catching designs, there are some bridges that attract thousands, even millions of tourists each year. Of course, not everyone is interested in the iconic familiar with the Golden Gate Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. Still, there are several less famous but equally fascinating bridges to visit on your next trip. Number 10. The Moses Bridge, the Netherlands. Most bridges cross over water or space, but the Moses Bridge in the Netherlands cuts directly across the water. The bridge provides access to the Fort de Roover, the largest fort on the Western Brabant Line, a defensive line that used ditches to fend off attackers. A restoration project required building a bridge over the ditch, but this was not advised, as it would have spoiled the appearance of the site. The solution was to build a bridge that cut across the water like a moat, rather than passing over it. It is less visually disruptive while still allowing people access. Built in 2010, the bridge was originally called the Loopgraafbrug, but is now known as the Moses Bridge because it appears to part the water like the biblical prophet Moses. Although the water line sometimes appears uncertain, the height of the water is controlled by dams, so a submerged bridge cannot flood. Number 9. The Golden Bridge, Vietnam. The Golden Bridge in Vietnam is designed as if it is held by two giant stone hands. The old arms, which dwarf the pedestrians who use the bridge, look as if they have been standing for centuries, but in fact they are made of wire mesh and fiberglass and have only been in place since 2018. The bridge offers a view of the hilly area below, but it is an impressive sight in itself. Located in the Ba Na Hills Resort near Da Nang City, the bridge connects the gardens to a cable car station. The cable car currently holds the Guinness World Record for the longest non-stop single-track cable car ride, spanning 19,000 feet. The Golden Bridge may not hold any records, but it's an impressive addition to the resort, which Forbes described as a mix between Disney's Epcot, a French ski resort, and a Buddhist mountain retreat. Number 8. Carrick-A-Rede Rope Bridge, Northern Ireland. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest of the world's oceans, and despite its immense size, there is actually a bridge that crosses it. The Carrick-A-Rede Rope Bridge was first built in 1755 to allow fishermen to cross from mainland Northern Ireland to a small offshore island. Spanning a 30-meter deep and 20-meter wide moat, the bridge may not cross a particularly large section of the ocean, but technically it does. A more modern bridge now spans the sea, enabling tourists to say that they have walked across the Atlantic. However, Carrick-A-Rede is not the only bridge to make such a claim. Cluckin Bridge on the west coast of Scotland achieves the same feat, but over a shorter distance. The small arched bridge crosses a narrow channel, both ends of which connect to the Atlantic. Number 7. The Eurobank Note Bridges, the Netherlands. Eurobank notes contain images of imaginary bridges rather than real bridges, in order not to unfairly give priority to certain countries. However, Robin Stam thought, it would be amazing if these imaginary bridges suddenly came into existence in real life. He reached out to the City Council of Speakiness, where he was born, and said before I knew it, there was a whole team working on my idea. Between 2011 and 2013, bridges in Speakiness became reality. Each of the 7 banknotes, which symbolize cooperation between European countries, shows a different style of architecture. The real bridges are smaller than the art depicted on the banknote, but they are brightly colored to match their respective notes. 5 of the bridges were built using colored concrete, and the remaining 2 used steel. Number 6. Benpo Bridge Moonlight Rainbow Fountain, South Korea. The Benpo Bridge is the upper half of a 3,740-foot double-decker bridge located over the Jamsu Bridge, which crosses the Han River in Seoul, South Korea. In 2008, fountains were installed on both sides of the Benpo Bridge, giving it the Guinness World Record for the world's longest bridge fountain. Amazingly, there are 380 nozzles installed on the sides of the bridge, which release 60 tons of water every minute. During the day, a water falls down in different beautiful patterns, but it is best visible at night. LED lights illuminate streams of water in rainbow colors, and activities synchronize with the music. Since the Benpo Bridge is suspended above the Jamsu Bridge, spectators can also stand on the lower bridge to watch the 20-minute show from below. Number 5. Kenua Bridge USA. Most bridges don't offer visuals of what they would look like if destroyed, but the Kenua Bridge in Pennsylvania does just that. For a short time, it was the longest and highest rail bridge in the world, being 2,053 feet long and 301 feet high. Restoration work was being done on the structure in 2003 when it was partially destroyed by a tornado. It was determined that rebuilding the bridge would be too expensive, so instead, the remaining structure was converted into a pedestrian path which opened in 2011. Still standing support towers were used in the construction. Although the bridge no longer crosses the valley, it leads to a platform from where people can take a horrifying view of the 11 destroyed towers that were blown down and folded at the bottom of the valley. Number 4. The Baste Bridge, Germany. The Baste Bridge is a spectacular 636-foot-high jagged rock that looms over the Elbe River in Germany. Theine Castle stood at the top of the natural towers until it burned down in 1484. Although it is no longer home to a fort, crowds still come to see the impressive rocks. In the early 1800s, a wooden bridge was built to connect the piers, and around 1850, it was upgraded to a sandstone bridge that still stands today. Walking on the bridge provides a close-up view of the pillars, as well as a wider panorama, the surrounding mountains and valley below. The dramatic medieval-looking bridge is as much a draw to the region as the sandstone towers. The bridge seen between the pillars looks straight out of The Lord of the Rings. Number 3. Las Lilas Sanctuary, Colombia. Las Lilas Sanctuary is a Gothic Revival-style church located across a canyon in Colombia. The building towers over one side of the valley, 330 feet above the bottom, and is connected to the other side by a 160-foot-long bridge spanning the Guadalquivir River. The current church was built between 1916 and 1949, but a less grand temple existed before this, allegedly being the site of a miracle. Local legend has it that in 1754, a woman and her deaf-mute daughter took shelter in a cave from a rainstorm and witnessed the appearance of the Virgin Mary, after which her daughter was able to speak and communicate. People began to make pilgrimages to the cave after they learned about the miracles, and at some point, an image of Mary reportedly appeared on a piece of stone. This stone is now part of the altar inside the impressive church. Number 2. The Tianjin Eye on Jongle Bridge, China. The Tianjin Eye is unusual compared to other Ferris wheels in China, as it is the only wheel hanging over a river, specifically the Hai River. Its height is 394 feet, meaning it dwarfs Seine Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, which stands at 820 feet, and is currently the tallest Ferris wheel in the world. However, no other observation wheel is associated with the bridge, which makes the Tianjin Eye and Jongle Bridge unique. The wheel was opened to the public in 2008 and can accommodate 384 passengers at a time in its 48 coaches, taking 30 minutes to complete one revolution. The scene is connected to the bridge via dramatic tri-pronged struts. At night, it lights up with colorful neon lights, making it an impressive sight for pedestrians crossing the bridge below. Number 1. Living Root Bridges, India. A living root bridge is a suspension bridge made from the living roots of trees, usually rubber trees. These living bridges are particularly common in the Indian state of Meghalaya, where dense forest means it is impractical to build roads and bridges from common materials such as concrete and steel. More than 100 live bridges have been built in a province to enable tribal communities to cross the region's many rivers. Living bridges are constructed by stretching bamboo across the river and then positioning the aerial roots. As trees continue to grow over the years, bridges become stronger and able to carry more people across. They are currently on UNESCO's tentative list for World Heritage Site status because they demonstrate a distinctive ethno-botanical journey rooted in profound culture, nature reciprocity, and synthesis. Here we end the journey of 10 unique bridges. Every bridge has a story, blending architecture and history in a unique way. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.